In any threat situation, our first concern is the safety of faculty and staff. We have to investigate, verify that the threat is real or false, where the threat is coming from, if it's on campus, off campus. So we have to be allowed to investigate, keep students, faculty safe, and then as we feel that it is safe to return to normal operations, then it is the district's responsibility to communicate this to parents. There is not a specific timeline on when and how this can happen, but we do want to communicate to parents in the community as soon as we are able to safely say that the threat is cleared and no longer any threat to students and faculty. Marshall ISD received a tip from a student that had received a text that they did not know where the text came from. The text was a threat against the school. Immediately, MISD police chief and officers started to investigate. We did place schools on soft lockdowns to make sure that no one could enter or exit the campuses. After research of where the telephone number came from, we reached out to Marshall City to see if they had resources to help us find where the telephone number came from. It was not in our Skyward-based research where we could find that it came from a student or a parent or locally. It was from out of the area. 2 different students on 2 campuses did receive this threat, and we started to investigate from there. At the same time, there was a report of a student that had made a threat against another student, but it was in a totally separate instance that just happened at the same time. All investigations showed that neither threat was credible, and all students and faculty were safe.
Depending on which campus it is, we have a protocol that we go through on any threat assessment like this. The first thing, if it's a threat of violence, the campus is either put on soft lockdown or hard lockdown, depending on the level of violence that's threatened. We have extra officers that respond to that particular campus. In yesterday's event, we actually had extra officers respond to the junior high and the high school due to students from both schools receiving these alleged threats. We actually we got the city involved as far as resources of looking up numbers, and then we actually got the FBI involved as well. The result of theirs was that the number that it was called from was one of those spoof text numbers, and then when they associated that number with another number, it come back to some business out of Ohio, and that's what they said, that's where the trail stopped. So we were never able to pinpoint that exact number down to an individual. Later on, as the threat continued, there was actually other schools that we got word that had received the same type of threats from spoof numbers just like ours was. So we remained in our protocol until, I guess, the alleged time that they said this was going to occur was way past. And then once everything appeared to be that it was safe and secure, then we went back to just business as usual inside the school, just a lockout situation, but the inside the school continued with their regular activities.
In a lockout situation, there are no visitors that enter or leave the campus. In a lockdown situation, there is no movement inside the school. Students, faculty are in their room. We are all accounted for, and we are waiting further instructions. The lockout situation, there is still normal movement throughout the school, changing classes, going to lunch, just no entry or exit from the campus. Marshall ISD does have a district emergency operation plans that entails all the campus emergency operation plans. The state of Texas requires us to have a safety protocol for any instance of bad weather, intruder, school safety, even as far as if you are in proximity to a train derailment, an interstate with a chemical spill. So we do have all of the required emergency operation plans. Each campus trains their faculty and staff at the beginning of every year, and we're required to do several drills throughout the year to ensure that we are following our safety protocols. Marshall ISD's number one priority is the safety of students and faculty. We are very thankful to the students that came forward with the information to help us start and our investigation and begin making sure that all of our campuses are safe and secure.